All right. Where were we? Yes. Okay. So, welcome back. On the last episode. All right. Yes. Okay. Actually, fuck it. Yes, we met Shannon. All right. Yes. So on our last episode, yes, we watched this one be absolutely awful to her mother. But it was kind of funny, but it was also absolutely awful. Do not recommend. And then she was absolutely awful to Shannon. So you met Shannon. Shannon is George's boo, but she's also a maid. And she also is besties with the cousins. Alright. I hate all these adults, pretty much. Alright, whatever. Anyway. Met once again by the magnificent rose garden, we continued onward as it came into view the imposing mansion of the Ushiromiya main family. It had apparently been built shortly after the war, so you could feel the dignity of almost a half-century hanging about it. On the surface, the building was gorgeous, but being as old as it was seemingly lacking in modern amenities like air conditioning. I just look up, mind your business. According to Jessica, midwinter was especially tough, what with all the drafts. And there's clearly, like, I wash my face, I brush my teeth. It is what it is. Well, it's, sleep apnea is what it's giving, honestly. Well, it's not like they couldn't just take the kotatsu out. I always hold my breath when I sleep. I always hold my breath at any time, because whatever, anyway. I know what a kotatsu is. It's a cute little table that keeps people warm. All right, we're in the house finally. We've been in the guest house, now we're in the house. All right. As we entered the entrance hall, an aged servant greeted us, Genji. Now him I remembered. Also, right, anyway, as the most senior member of the staff, Genji-san served as the head of the servants.
Batora-sama. お久しゅうございます。
There we go, had to post-nasal drip. Anyway, as our eyes met, he saluted us with a composed voice. He didn't give quite as refined a bow as Goda's. Alright, but it was a bow that had feeling, real, even if it wasn't polished to the same degree. Alright, real nigga alert.
本当にお久しぶりっす。お元気そうですね。
He said, I'm gonna do it how the OGs do it.
おかげさまで健やかに過ごさせていただいております。
It's giving butler.
バトラ様こそご立派になられました。親方様の若き日に少し似てこられましたな。
俺がじい様に？
Damn, I'm the chosen one.
ってことは。さぞやじい様は若い頃モテたろうな。
ここからはシャノンに代わって
He said anyway.
私がご案内申し上げます。どうぞこちらへ。
I'm not gonna comment on that. Shannon Jin bowed deeply and saw us off. Leaving the entrance hall, I should have like drank some tea or something. For all this reading. Leaving the entrance hall, we headed to the dining hall under Genji-san's guidance. Instead, I have this energy drink. Genji-san, just like Kumasawa-san, stood in stark contrast to its young people who had grown beyond recognition over the last 6 years. His figure was exactly the same as in my memories of 6 years ago. It seemed like time had stopped since the last time we met. Genji-san was a silent and diligent person. He was like grandfather's close aide or caregiver. In fact, you could even go far as to say as he was grandfather's right-hand man. Besties. Actually, it seems that he was my grandfather's side more than my late grandmother was. Interesting. According to Jessica, grandfather trusts him more than any of his blood relatives. Okay, so they're like life partners. But I wonder how long he served. Likely his whole life. I've never asked for details, but I think I heard he's been here since the beginning when this mansion was constructed. Real. That is to say, he's dedicated half his life to serving here. No wonder grandfather trusts him. And they were roommates. As we cut through the open ceiling hall behind Genji-san, I found something I had no memory of from 6 years ago. Okay, new addition. New carport. Divine. Okay, it's fine. Damn. Big portrait. It was an awfully big portrait hung right in front of the stairs that rose to the second floor. Without thinking, I stopped walking under its spell. Beatrice! Since I suddenly stopped, Maria, who was following behind me, ran into my back. Right, she's 9, so she's like, what the fuck is this?
Ah,悪い。
Well, she must have saw it last year, right?
なあ、ジェシカ。あんな絵、前はあったっけ？
I pointed at the large and conspicuous portrait hanging in the hall. Everyone else stopped too.
ああ、そっか。バトラが来てた頃には、あれは隠れてなかったっけ？
The mystery starts, bitch.
いつからだったかな。
確か僕の記憶が正しければ一
2
昨
years
年あたりだっ
ago.
たと思うよ。
さようでございます。
Confirmed.
一昨年の4月に親方様がかねてより画家に命じて描かせていたものをあそこに展示なされたのでございます。
あのじいさまがね、わざわざ描かせてか。
The portrait depicted a woman in an elegant dress who gave off a sense of refinement. He seemed to suit the Western style of this mansion. It's giving baby girl. La enfant terrible. I couldn't have guessed her age, but the sharpness and obvious strength of will in her eyes gave me the impression of youth. It's always a troublesome child. It was a different feeling than the composed mood of middle-aged women that are often in famous pictures. If this woman had normal black hair, I might have thought it was a portrait of my long-distance grandmother in her prime. However, the woman in the portrait had beautiful golden hair and didn't look Japanese at all.
で、
Honestly, that would freak me out, because it's like, what is this woman doing hanging up in our parlor?
誰だい？
Right?
Oh,
Who is this? As they're trying to show off her knowledge, Maria answered that simple question with authority. Damn, authority. She said, listen up.
マリア知ってる。ベアトリーチェ。
Beatrice.
ベア
All caps.
なんだって？
ベアトリーチェ、
Don't play with it, all caps.
魔女だよ。バトラ君は昔聞かされたことない？
魔女？
マジョ。
ってこの島の？
I think I already said this, but Rokkenjima is a small island that's only about 10 kilometers around. However, considering that only the Ushiromiya family lives here, that's quite large. So only a harbor and the site around the mansion were set up to be lived in. Beyond that, the island remained as untouched as it was when it was still uninhabited. To understand just how dangerous a vast and empty forest with no lamplight, phones, or people damn, this is an awful place to be set up. Passing through it all actually is. You need to shift your... It's not only a mansion, it's a mansion surrounded by a forest, surrounded by water. Like, you're not getting out of here. You're not leaving, bro. You need to shift your urban assumptions a little. You see, if by any chance you fell down a hole in the depths of the forest and sprained your ankle, yeah, you're done. You're done. Cry or scream, no one would come save you. Alright. Why are we here? If it then got dark, the forest, where there are no streetlights, would become enshrouded in complete darkness. Bro. Also, since there obviously aren't any guideposts here, it's easy to get lost and lose your sense of direction in the dark forest. God. Now this is stressing me out. Nowadays, most people see a forest as a peaceful place, but to the people of bygone eras, before the light of civilization drove out the night, forests were like oceans on land, geographically separating one culture from another. Damn, why are we here? Just as fishermen who go out into the ocean occasionally have their lives put in danger, despite their technical knowledge. Technical knowledge was also demanded of hunters who went out into the forest, and their lives were occasionally put in danger just the same. If a child were to go play in that dangerous forest, something terrible might happen. Yeah, some parents must have had that thought. Not this family. Maybe my grandmother, possibly the man himself, my grandfather, might have said it. And maybe it was a story handed down on this island from long, long ago. There's a terrible witch in the forest, so you must not go in. Okay. Honestly, keep kids out. I get it. Thus, Rakanjima's ghost story was born. That is the legend of the Witch of Rakanjima. So when we say witch on this island, we're referring to the master of the vast and savage forest. Okay. We're saying, don't go outside, bitch. Which reminds me, when I was little and stayed at this mansion, during the eerie nights when the wind and rain struck the windows, hell no. Stories like the witch of the forest is roaming around in search of a sacrifice would scare the heck out of me. Beatrice, huh? As I searched my memory, prompted by Aniki, I did vaguely remember being told that was her name when I was very small. Beatrice, Lord of the Forest, Lord of the Hills.
しかし、あの魔女伝説の魔女にベアトリーチェなんておしゃれな名前がついてたとは、とんと忘れてたぜ。じいさまめ。孫たちが信じないもんだから、わざわざ絵に描きやがったか？
It's kind of nuts, like it's very occult. It's very occult, yeah. I love that everyone just went along with it.
この絵を掲げた頃から、現実と幻想の区別がつかなくなり始めた。
Like a shrine, you got a shrine right here with a painting in detail.
私たちにとっては想像の中の魔女
With curtains, like this is a
じい
lot.
様にとっては彼女はこの島にいる存在。いる。
Exists.
だからそれを理解することができない私たちにもわかるようあの絵を描かせたって言うんだけど。
Who am I to judge his belief system?
気持ち悪いったらありゃしないぜ。
お嬢様、親方様にとって
He's like, watch your
大
mouth.
切な肖像画です。親方様の前でそのようにおっしゃられることが
Watch
ございませ
your
ん。
mouth.
わかってるぜ。頼まれても言わねえよ。
Jessica turned away after glaring a second at the portrait.
行こうよ。
Very gaudy.
食堂にみんなを待たせてるよ。
Yeah, let's feed the baby. Only a small portion of this island is controlled by the Ushiromiya family. If all of the wild remainder was the witch Beatrice's domain, then one could say that she was the being who actually ruled over Rakanjima. That unsettling, ominous feeling I felt on the boat trip when I learned that the shrine had been struck by rites. Yes, the shrine was struck by lightning. Revived within me a bit. Right, when Maria pointed at the heavens and was like, something is wrong. I don't remember if that got cut. But anyway, there was a shrine on the way here that was destroyed that everyone else remembered last year, but it wasn't here this year. Torii Gate. Yes. At that time, Kumasawa-san had tried to tell an ominous story about Rakanjima and had been stopped by... Oh, sorry. Thank you for explaining it. I didn't know what she had tried to tell us about this island. Right, Kumasawa was trying to scare the hell out of that child. But there was one thing I did know. Rakanjima's ruler was not the Oshiramiya family. It was the witch Beatrice. Yes, because this was the witch's island. That makes sense if this mansion is surrounded by that big ass fucking forest. Good lord. When I looked around, everyone was already heading towards the dining hall. Whew. I hurriedly chased after them. Hurriedly. Whatever. We walked up to the huge double doors that led to the dining hall. Genji-san knocked.
お子様方をお連れ
I
いたしま
brought
した。
the oops. You know, the adults are a lot of drama. The kids are just so pleasant.
失礼いたします。
I'm ready to get back to the drama. The door was open and we were invited inside. I mean, it's cute. It's very 1980s, I guess. The dining hall, which screamed filthy rich, featured a super long table, which was obviously designed with no other purpose than to make the guests conscious of their rank. And our parents were already seated at it in accordance with that ordering.
遅いぞガキども。早く席につけよ。
He's surprisingly well behaved. The old bastard pressed us to sit. Only the places where we would sit. Oops. Sorry, whoops. Only the places where we would sit were empty at the long table, which only made us feel our tardiness all the more. They're kids, it'll be fine. The seat at the very head of the table, which you might call the seat of honor, was for the most highly ranked and reserved for grandfather. It was still empty. I bet he's not going to show up. He was probably planning to come in last to make himself look important. Or maybe with a bunch of magic tricks or some shit. The seating order as you face the seat of honor went from left to right in rows of 2, with the ranking being lower the further you were from it. So on the left-hand side of the row closest to the seat of honor was a second-ranked seat belonging to the eldest of the adult siblings, Uncle Kraus, Jessica's dad, who we have not met. It looked like he hadn't arrived yet either, so that seat was empty. Kraus has been missing. This fucking bitch. And then opposite him, on the right-hand side of the first row, sat the eldest daughter of the family, Auntie Ava, ranked at number 3, and you know she wants that second seat. The left-hand side of the second row was for number 4. There sat the old bastard Rudolph as the third of the siblings. Opposite him sat Rosa, right, the baby. It's the kids. Guess again, because the left-hand seat in the following third row, meaning rank number 6, was actually Jessica's seat. I love that they have fucking, what's it called? Assigned seats. Like, what the hell? Opposite her was George. Damn, right, because she is the first kid. Then the seat next to Jessica was me. And opposite me was Maria. Aw, the baby. And then the married aunts and uncles. That's funny. And you know she's sitting there like, damn, Eva's ranked number 3rd and I'm number 10. Damn. Real. So Natsuhi is 10. Opposite her was Uncle Hideyoshi, because that's Evangelion's husband. And next to Natsuhi, in the 6th and final row on the left-hand side, was Kyrie-san. Okay, that makes so much sense. The seat opposite to Kyrie-san had been laid out like the others, but was empty. According to this ranking system, that spot, damn, was the seat where Auntie Rosa's husband should be sitting, but she came alone. He hasn't come, as far as I know, yet the table had been laid for his seat. Rude. These kind of ranking orders usually permit the spouse a corresponding status, But the Ushiramiya family had an original kind of ranking. Damn. Maybe it's a leftover of male chauvinism. I mean, if we're being honest, not really. Because, like, the women are just as in equal rank than the men because it's based off birth order. But they're not, he doesn't know Natsuhi and Hideyoshi, those aren't his kids. Under the notion that a mother's womb is only a temporary house for the child, and she contributes no genes, the children of direct descent would have the highest ranking, followed by the grandkids. Gee. Meaning that the spouses with no blood ties would be considered the last in line. I mean, it's terrible, but according to that ranking order, grandmother, if she was still alive, would be in a... Oh. Yeah, that is kind of sad. It would be in a position even lower than mine. Well... Okay, I see the chauvinism. I was incorrect. In youth, obey your father. After marriage, your husband. After aging, your children. Jesus. A leftover of the times when they used to say women, no home in 3 worlds. Yeah, dang. I lied. Long ago, when I was still incapable of figuring all this out. So he's like, who's my blood? The rest of y'all are just, damn, that's crazy. I thought it was so great that we could all chat with the adult siblings sitting in their groups and us cousins in ours. However, now that I can re-examine the seating order after growing up a bit, it stirs up some very complicated feelings in me. Yeah, because you got one side of adults on one side and the other side of adults on the other side. Aunt Natsuhi, married to the eldest son of the family, responsible for managing the household, and number 2, for all practical intents and purposes, sat to my right, at less than the kiddie table. Which meant she was 2 steps lower than me in the ranking order. It was difficult to guess what was going through her head. That's why I made a small apologetic gesture before sitting down. That is so nice of him to, like, acknowledge her feelings about this bullshit. Like, that was so kind.
お久しぶりですね、バトラ君。
Especially to this aunt he hasn't seen in 6 years.
ずいぶん背が伸びましたね。
あ、はい。
I'm so tired of reading.
食ったり食べたり食事したりしてたら、
Just kidding.
いつの間にかこんな身長に。
さすが男の子ね。
She's being very
身長は
nice.
いくつくらいあるの？
180かな。
Poor Natsuhi.
つうかおばさん、そこは食べてばっかりじゃねえかって突っ込んでくださいよ。
Aww. That's a sweat drop.
ごめんなさいね。
Aww. She's so awkward. Poor girl. She's like, ha ha. After a moment, she gave a small laugh, but it seemed she couldn't quite figure out what she was supposed to be laughing at. Oh, this woman is Aunt Natsuhi. She's the wife of the eldest son of the family, meaning she's my dad's older brother's wife. Is it easier to get it if I just call her Jessica's mom? It feels bad to say it like this, but not that I hated her, but I didn't particularly like her. All about it was just being nice. She never got into our kid circle, and my only impression of her was as someone who always talked about complicated stuff with my parents while having a crabby expression on her face. The fact is that having barely ever exchanged words, I hesitated a lot, even just now, about how to approach her. And it was pretty much a flop. Damn. The silverware had been tidily set up on the table, but the meal itself hadn't been brought in. As a rule, the meal doesn't start until the man at the head has taken his seat. The man who we haven't seen in forever, okay. So long as grandfather, the highest rank, didn't come, lunch would be indefinitely on hold. Not even the appetizers would come. Awful. In other words, the silence in the dining hall was the sound of our parents as they withstood their hunger and waited on tender hooks for grandfather to come. Everyone is just so freaking hungry. Except the grandfather I remembered always showed up at the right time when we ate together like this. He wouldn't ever have been so late as to have everyone else waiting on him. Right.
遅えな、じい様。
Right, okay.
俺の記憶じゃ時間に厳格な人だったと思うんだけどな。
まあ、6年前はそうだったかもな。最近はそうでもねえよ。
So he's been in poor health. He's near death's door. Only Genji can see him. He's uncharacteristically late.
というか、
I
もう
wonder what's
自分の
going
世
on.
界オンリーって感じで、会食にも顔を出さねえぜ。
He doesn't even eat with
さすが
anybody.
に今日くらいは足並みを揃えてくれるって思ってたんだけどな。
We're at the family conference.
まあ、私は来ない方が気楽で嬉しいけどよ。
Nobody likes him.
ジェシカ
Oh. After being scolded by her mother, Jessica faced the other way, sticking her tongue out. Damn. No way around it. Nothing to do but wait for the host to arrive. When I glanced at the clock, I saw that it was almost 20 minutes past 12. 12:20. Oh, we've been waiting on you! The aged master of the Ushiromiya head house, Ushiromiya Kenzo. Okay, so he was there in his study. Okay, man from the beginning who's screaming out Beatrice mini portrait in the room. Amazing cloak, by the way. Like, amazing cloak. Same Hideyoshi red polo collar shirt. That's a big ass collar, damn. Up to the neck. He's kind of serving. I need a cloak. Anyway. The clock showed noon, but he didn't even attempt to get up. With reading glasses on his face, he stacked up old-fashioned books with elaborately designed bindings. One on what is he doing in here? On top of another, the Necronomicon, immersing himself in their reading. It definitely didn't look like it was for his leisure. On the contrary, he exuded impatience, crisis. My cat is trying to break into... Hey! Please do not do that. Thank you. There are chemicals in there. Alright. He's so well behaved. Impatience, crisis, welcome. As though every minute, every second were precious. The sealed room was dense with dancing dust particles, and the air stagnated with a mix of smells of various elixirs, each giving off its own suspicious stench. They were somehow sweet and heavy. For anyone with a good nose, the first thing they'd do after entering would be to open a window and ventilate the room. Dad. The knocking against the study door had been going on for a while. These are sick. A voice calling father sometimes mingled with the knocks. As Kinzo heaved a deep sigh, he snapped shut the old book he had in his hands and slammed it on the table. Then he yelled at Kraus, who was continuing to knock on the door. Okay.
その音を止めぬか愚か者。叩けば扉は開かれると誰が教えた。そのバカ者は貼り付けにしたぞ。
Where's the doctor?
お前もそうされたいのか。
Because the doctor and him are playing chess.
お父さん。
Kraus.
年に一度の親族会議の日ではありませんか。
You gotta remind him when the family conference is.
皆下に集まっています。どうかおいでください。
Kraus called out to his father through the door. Kenzo always shut himself up in the study and hated letting even his family into the room. For that reason, Kraus had no choice but to call out thus from the corridor.
私に構うでない。 港は何か私をここから引きずり出そうとする者どもなのか？ならば殺してしまい。
Kill? Question mark? Your family?
バラバラにして巻きにして魔女の炉にくべてしまい。
Oh, he is all the way delusional. It's gone.
その炉には鍋をかけて苦い
Damn, he's still going. He's like, I got a spell for you
黙
bitches.
示録の煮汁はそれでも私をここから連れ出そうとするバカ者どもに飲ませてやれ。
Oh, he's a witch through and through. He's a witch through and through. He's like, the cape, the potions, the spell, the home brew. I should have peeped it from the cape, honestly. Honestly. It's fierce. It's fierce. It's the ultimate mother. Wow. I'm so sorry. I should have recognized the bad bitch when I seen one. Damn.
残りは酒につけるのだ。
And bottle it up, bitch. Real.
ああ、源氏はどこだ？源氏を呼べ。
Where's my man? I'm sorry.
苦い回しを用意させろ。
The demonic absinthe. Real. Real. Genji. Get me my cauldron.
緑の妖精のささやきが届かぬ。
I don't even know what the hell that means.
ああ、源氏はどこだ？源氏を呼べ。
Genji! Oh, he's serious. Before Nanjo is the doctor. Before the door, Kraus, Nanjo, and Genji kept waiting for the master of the house, who would not come out. What the hell? I won't even comment.
すっかり嫌われてしまったようだ。もう私の声では何も届かんよ。
It's like Rudolph's brother, Kraus. Kraus shrugged as though saying it's no use and smiled bitterly. It's no use. He himself hadn't believed for a moment that his father would answer his damn. However, as it was the duty of the eldest son, he had formally made the request real.
金蔵さん、
Yeah, okay.
あんたの顔を見に息子や娘や孫たちが来てるんじゃないか。ちょっ
Okay.
と顔を見せてやったらどうだね。
Okay, I read a mystery before. You feel me?
うるさい、黙れ。私に意見するというか南條。貴様など呼んではおらぬ。私は源氏を呼べと言ったのだ。
Genji.
さあ急げ、すぐに呼べ。
I'm watching you, Genji. I'm watching you. I'm watching everyone who stays here. Everyone who comes here regularly.
時間は常に有限だ。人たちはすでにラッパを構えているぞ。なぜにそれがわからぬか愚かな羊どもめ。
The apostles are readying their trumpets. I'm stealing that, bitch. Like, I'm stealing it. Bro. He's a bad bitch. I'm so sorry. Kenzo slammed the old heavy book on the table over and over. Bring me Genji. The racket obviously indicated his highest displeasure. Kenzo put his spectacles down and flew up from his chair. He spread his arms wide open, as if to sing to a packed opera house, as if appealing to someone, and yelled. It's fine.
なぜだ。なぜにいつも私には邪魔が入るのか。
All black, man. He is getting into it.
すべてを捨てよう。すべてを捧げよう。その見返りに私は一つしか求めないというのに。
Super ultra rich head. I would throw it all away. I would offer up everything, and there's only one thing I ask in repayment.
ベアトリーチェ、お前の微笑みをもう一度見られるならば、私は世界中から美少を奪い取り、全てをお前に捧げよう。
The witch in the portrait.
おお、イナゴの軍団長たちよ、世界中から美少を刈り取り収穫せ。
Beatrice, the witch in the portrait, representation of the forest. He owes her something. The forest ate one of his kids in a black magic ritual and gave him all his money.
すべてが汚らわしい、すべてが煩わしい。なぜこの貴重な一日に私は邪魔を受けねばならぬのか。
Yeah, dang. We are knocking on death's door. But, we've been knocking on death's door for a while. Ooh. This might be the final knock. Oh, it's the final knock. He is acting. Give this man an Emmy.
何を怒鳴ってるのかもさっぱりだ。
Rude.
もう頭がどうにかなっているのだ。
I don't like that smile.
クラウスさん、実のお父さんにそりゃあんまりじゃない。
Somebody get Genji.
親父はすでに死んでいる。
Oh.
ここにいるのは親父だったものの幻さ。
Man.
いずれにせよ本人にここを出る意思がない以上。
Get Genji.
金蔵さん。
You get Genji. Choking coughs continued to pour from the study.
私は下に戻る。ゴーダの自慢のランチをこれ以上無駄にさま、親類たちにとって当家での数少ない楽しみだろうからな。
It would be a waste to let that lunch go to so proud of get any colder. Bro, it's one of the few things the others have to look forward to here. Well, like, okay, to be empathetic, I'm sure everyone hates this man. So maybe it's for the best. I don't know. Kraus looked at his wristwatch, mumbling and acting as though he had wasted time doing something he knew would be in vain.
源氏さん。
Okay.
親父殿がお呼びだ。
Okay.
相手を頼む。
Okay.
かしこまりました。
Okay.
南條先生、食事に行きましょう。
Okay.
いつまでもここにいると、この甘い匂いで味覚までおかしくなる。
What is he finna do in there? Without waiting for Nanjo, I'm so sorry. Kraus went downstairs. Genji urged Nanjo to go and eat. Nanjo looked first to Kraus's back as he disappeared down the stairs, then to the study door, and he let out a deep sigh.
すまんが源氏さん、頼みます。
はい、お任せください。
お酒はなるべく与えないように。あれは常習性が強すぎる。
I mean, the man's dying at this point. Does it matter?
源氏はまだか。何者が源氏を阻んでいるというのか。
This acting is so familiar. Let me look at the cast
源
list.
氏はどこだ。源氏を呼べ。
さあ、ここは
Genji, get in there.
お任せください。
すみませんな。
Nanjo gave a small duck of his head and descended the stairs. Genji saw him off and knocked at the study door.
親方様。
Yeah, go calm his ass down.
源氏でございます。
源氏か。
Oh, he's crying.
何故私をこれほどに待たすのか。
His bestie.
そこには誰もおるまいな。
はい、私だけでございます。
Kenzo returned to his seat in the study and pressed an old-fashioned switch on the table. Secret lair? After a small delay, the heavy sound of the door unlocking could be heard. I would totally have a secret lair. I get it. Kenzo believed that his family might try to break into his study. Perhaps someone once opened the window for some air and scattered some important documents or something, and that had made him extremely upset. Now, Kenzo had placed a secure lock in his room, making it so that without his permission, nobody could enter, and locking himself in the dungeon he himself created. Genji, who he trusted the most, was relatively free to enter the room, but even that was not absolute. If Kenzo was in a bad mood, even he wouldn't be able to enter. Anyone else would be limited to holding a conversation through the door, not even seeing his face. And most of the time, they wouldn't even get a real conversation. However, that didn't pose any particular problem for the family. That was because they had no reason to go out of their way to interfere with the retirement of the cantankerous and aged head. The fact that he was completely immersed in his odd research and always locked up in his hideaway was something of a benefit. They made the most of his refusal to leave the study, entrusting him to the hands of the servants, while they themselves kept their distance.
Genji,
if he's fine with it.
私は忙しい。
はい。
Genji headed to a corner of the study. There, suspicious-looking bottles boasting venomous colors were on display. They were actually liquor, but considering that they were placed in the shady-looking room, you could almost suspect that they might be ghastly poisons. I love it. Theme room. The inside of the study was filled with a mountainous library of outlandish books that Kenzo had amassed. They were bizarre old books, some banned, and each and every one of them either forbidden, cursed, or sealed. Amazing. Of course, if one were to actually call them old books, Kenzo would fly into a rage and say something like this. Call them grimoires! Yeah. They're my spell books. Don't call them books unless you put the word spell in front of it. You bitches couldn't even spell books. I'm so sorry. They were candles which had melted in a suspicious-looking fashion and taken on peculiar forms, and all manner of other strange objects, probably having something to do with black magic. Damn, and this is in the 80s, like, pre-Satanic Panic. The constellations covering the celestial globe would have caused anyone who knew the night sky well to raise an eyebrow. It's some bullshit. The illustrations inscribed in old books, haphazardly left open, range from the religious and mystical to the demonic and grotesque, as well as bizarre diagrams of various magic circles. I know my guys got the Key of Solomon, like the original key. And above all, the sweet poisonous smell that filled the room. He's like, John D. Baby, that's me. Copernicus, science, magic, Nostradamus, Aleister Crowley, who was alive, I think, already. Yeah, 50s, right? Whatever. And above all, the sweet, poisonous smell that filled the room. Which, to those entering for the first time, would surely be a profound assault on their sense of sight, smell, and all their other senses, making them lose their grip on reality. I finally sound like I'm alive. Inside that study, Genji, with his well-trained hand, prepared Kenzo's usual drink. If you didn't know that the ghastly dark green liquid that filled the complexly designed bottle was liquor, you certainly wouldn't want to put it in your mouth. Absinthe, good lord. He poured a small quantity of the spirit into the glass, placed a cube of sugar in a strangely shaped spoon, and then poured water over a pitcher over it. Strangely, when the colorless water was poured into it, the dark green liquid turned a cloudy white. It created the strange visual illusion that the water had caused a chemical reaction, which made it all the more difficult to perceive the concoction as liquor, fierce, To this, he added an original flavoring that Kenzo liked and fine-tuned the taste. I bet it's tasty. There was no recipe. Its success was measured only by Kenzo's mood swing when he drank it, and he had learned how to make it only after many decades. Genji placed the glass on a tray and made his way over to Kenzo. Kenzo was now gazing out the window.
どうぞ、親方様。
ああ、すまん。
Kenzo had regained his composure, so much so that he was now unrecognizable as the man who had been shouting, screaming, and yelling just moments before. And that man's back dwelt a dignity and intelligence made plain simply by how he tilted his glass. Okay, so he's back to normal. Genji, in order to allow Kenzo to set down his glass at any time, motionlessly waited behind and to his left as though he were a living sideboard. As he did, Kenzo stuck out just the glass, his gaze still directed at the world outside the window. There was just a mouthful remaining. It was not a gesture intended to set it upon the tray, as Genji expected, but was a motion to hand the glass over to Genji. We are really getting in the weeds.
我が友よ。
もったいないお言葉です。
Just drink it, my man.
私とお前の中に儀礼はいらぬ。
Okay.
飲め、友よ。
Yes.
いただきます。
Affirm your relationship. As friends, Genji respectfully received the glass and inclined it a little to taste its contents. Then he downed it in one gulp.
お前が作るのを真似ているのだが、どうにも同じ味が出ぬ。お前が作る方がうまい。
ありがとうございます。親方様のご指導の賜物です。
You're too kind, Genji. Genji smiled at his loyal subject, who refused to put aside rank, even when asked to. However, he was not making fun of him. It was relaxed, like a smile at a close friend's unriddable bad habit. Okay, so they're besties to real. This is the only man he really cares about. Because he really just told his son to fuck off.
年を数えることも忘れてすでに久しい。
今日まで過ごすことをお許しいただけたのも、すべて親方様のおかげでございます。
Kenzo gave a thin smile, as if to say he didn't need compliments.
今日まで本当によく私に仕えてくれた。息子たちは誰もが私を変人呼ばわりした。大勢いた使用人も皆私を恐れてやめていった。お前だけが今でも私に仕えてくれる。も
ったいないお言葉です。
私の余命もそう長くはあるまい。
You've been saying that.
息子たちは私の遺産がいつ転がり込んでくるかをうろうろ待つハゲタカばかりだ。クラウスの愚か者は金を湯水のように使い、1枚の金貨を売るのに2枚の金貨を捨てておる。
Kraus is bad at investing, despite being number 2.
それで金を稼げたなどと妄言を。エヴァは金の亡者だ。あやつは私を鶏か何かだと思っておる。
Okay, he might be spitting because Ava is a slave to many. She is definitely oh, you don't have the latest? Yeah. He's like, I'm not a damn hen. Get your own bag. Okay. Kraus can't run a business. Ava is a capitalist. Damn.
Rudolph
is a womanizer. True.
Rosa はどこの馬の骨ともわからん男の赤ん坊など産みおって。
Oh, why is he crying? Rosa, but you know, he is very sexist, so I totally could see him calling Maria a bastard. Rosa's a single mom. Damn, he said Jessica's stupid. This man said Cross sucks at business. Eva is a bitch, basically, sorry. Rudolph is a womanizer. Rudolph is a simp. Rosa is a single mother, which, so rude. Jessica is stupid. George is a pussy. Battler walked away. Well, you clearly don't give a shit about it anyway. Maria is an abomination. No. It's your blood, loser. He's like, Genji, I'd give it all to you if I could. The forest. The forest is cursed. The money is cursed? They got to reach made you super rich, but you have this shitty family in this scary ass woods. Is something must have happened to him to have made him such an asshole. Ooh, what kind of asshole though? Ooh, maybe he was already an asshole. Kill him. Let her go. Leave her leave her ass alone. Is that the death rattle? Nope. Beatrice. Alright. I'm so sorry, I thought he was done. You got another? Nope, okay. After howling, Kenzo choked once again. Genji set the tray in the glass down and patted his master's back. Genji's facial expression did not change. Okay, if they walk in there, what is this old man gonna do? It was always like this. Ooh. Just honestly, go off. Go gently into that good night, sir. Please. It seems like you'd be a lot happier. After his almost deranged outburst of the past few minutes settled. That is my nose. That's so funny. Okay. Kenzo regained his composure once more. Me scratching my nose. My hand, I meant. The way his attitude changed was like seeing two different people. A wild Kenzo and a composed Kenzo living together inside one body. Fierce.
このままぼやききった余生を怠慢に過ごすことなどもはや耐えられはせん。この身に最後にとするコインがあるならば、それを悪魔たちのルーレットに託してみたい。
The Demon's Roulette.
魔法の力はいつもかけるリスクで決まる。
That's some dark shit.
日本古来の呪術である牛の国参りがそうであろう。7日間儀式を目撃されてはならないというリスクを支払うからこそ魔力が宿る。
You know, that's true. You want to do some big magic, you need some big dick energy.
困難なリスクが生じれば生じるほどに魔力は強く生じるのだ。神話に登場する数々の奇跡は天文学的リスクに奇跡的な低確率を得て成就した驚愕すべき魔力の結晶なのだと言える。
It's giving Higurashi, bro. It's giving Kakura fragments. Oh my god. We're just gonna...
モーゼが海を割ったのは神の奇跡ではない。蹂躙の計りに乗せられ軍勢によって航海に追い詰められた絶体絶命のリスクが奇跡の魔力を生んだのだ。
Dang. This man said Moses parted the Red Sea because they was on their backs. God dang, god dang.
同じことが同じ規模で繰り返されようとも再び海が割れることはないだろう。
He said that this sea didn't just part for nobody, bro. The situation was dire. You had to be there.
なぜならモーゼは力ある者たちのルーレットのアソーギナユタをかけたよりも多く存在する目の中に一つだけ刻まれた奇跡を見事引き寄せることができたからだ。
That's a big number. Asogi Nayuta multiplied together. Damn. He's saying that man got lucky. Where are the tips? There we go. Oh, grimoire. Asogi and Nayuta are very large ancient Japanese numbers. The English counting system expresses numbers using a 1,000 base system, right? But Japanese uses a system based on 10,000 instead. Jesus. Ichi. Damn, they go 1, 10,000, another 10,000, another 10,000. Ichi man okucho ke gai. Dad, gum. What are y'all even doing with numbers this high? Who's counting this high? Why are y'all... Whatever. I love it, but like, damn.
その天文学的確率に勝利できる力。そう、奇跡をつかみ取る運気はすなわち魔力なのだ。強大な魔力を得るためには絶望的なリスクを背負わねばならぬ。魔力持たぬ者はそれを賭けでなく自暴自棄と呼ぼう。
Magical power is having the luck to grasp miracles. To obtain great magical power, one must bear risk that is hopelessly great.
しかし、真に魔力ある者はその奇跡をつかみ取り、神秘を成就させるのだ。
This is making me think of Kakegurui.
もしも私にその魔力があるならば。
A lot of what's been presented up until now is like, this is bullshit, but it's a lot of fun. Like, and if I put on my anime hat and think really hard about this for no reason, those who truly do possess magical power can grasp hold of that miracle and make the enigma come into being. But if I put on my, like, serious hat,
私はその奇跡をつかみ取るだろう。生涯を費やした願いを実現できるだろう。
Because, like, in that case, then magic is like being extremely lucky. Having 1 in a billion trillion chance. Is that a real magic system? Or is that just like Kakera creating? Which, whatever. Higurashi. Kenzo looked up to the sky outside the window. Like, is Rika time traveling? Like, is the time traveling happening? Is the Hinamizawa, I totally forgot the name, disease really happening? Anyway, I'm getting confused already. Whew. Kenzo looked up to the sky, whatever. He spread his arms as if appealing to someone up in the sky. Alright, he's betting everything. He's super desperate. You want the forest to come back to you? To trade you something? Back. I'll return everything you granted me. Oh my god. And she clearly doesn't give a fuck, so she's dead. The person. He's rambling at the sky. He's full of regret. I wonder how many of these did he record? Like, did he record like 30 of these in the intro too, and then 30 more for this? Or did they reuse them? His nonsensical yell segued into a scream and then into a wail. Kenzo crumpled onto the floor and clawed at it with both hands. Genji had no choice but to wordlessly watch over his master's laments. Poor guy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, put me back here, bro. I know these kids are so hungry.
かしこまりました。それでは本日の昼食を始めさせていただきます。
南條先生、そんなにお父様のお具合は悪いの？せめて顔くらい見せてくれてもいいわよね。
体調というよりは機嫌ですな。こればかりはつける薬がありませんので。
おいおい、機嫌ってまたかよ。そりゃないぜ。
No lithium? There's lithium.
こちとら、
Maybe not for his
クソ忙しい時期にスケジュール都合してご機嫌伺いに来てるんだ。それはよ。
よかったじゃないか、ルドルフ。ご機嫌は伺えたんだ。それとも不機嫌な親父殿を私に代わり、お前が説得して連れてきてくれるのかね。
I don't ever want to see them both on my screen.
まさか。
Rudolph shrugged. Apparently, even though Rudolph seemed to resent the way his father did whatever he pleased, he'd rather avoid seeing his face if he could help it.
夕食までにはその機嫌治りそうなの？クラウス兄さん。
そんなことは知らんよ。
This is an awful sibling power dynamic. Is he in a good mood? Why? Because I need to ask him something.
親父殿に直接聞いてみるといい。もっとも声をかけない方が機嫌の治りは早いと思うがね。
Because they all hate him, so like, where is this concern coming from?
じい様の機嫌を直せるのは情けないぜ。自分の親の機嫌を使用人に直せるんだからよ。
Jessica, she don't give a fuck.
ジェシカ。
She just be saying shit out loud.
余計なことは言わなくていい。
Girl. Oh, fair. She planned for her complaint to be heard only by her cousins, but it reached even Krause's ears. Scolded, Jessica scowled and turned away sulking.
機嫌がうんぬんってことは元気がないってんならともかく機嫌が悪いってのは少なくとも気はしっかりしてる証拠だぜ。
おじい様は特に強い気力をお持ちだからね。
The boys are good.
でも体が必ずしもそれに伴えるとは限らないよ。
They're being like optimistic because even though they don't care for the man, they're not
去年からずっと
bad people.
余命3ヶ月って言われ続けてる。
Since last year, they keep saying he has 3 months left. We need to get a real doctor, cause what?
最初の診断が正しいならおじい様は気力だけで流らえてるってことになる。
Sheer desperation and regret. That will to live is strong, I tell you.
気遣ってあげないといけないよ。
Lunch started with the family's head seat still empty. The man who should have been sitting there was already old, and the brilliant glory which had rebuilt the Oshiromiya family in a single lifetime was slowly being forgotten. Nobody seemed to feel uncomfortable when the meal began with that seat still empty. Oh, every time. God. What time is it? It's 1:30. The Oshiromiya Family Conference was held once every year. It took place on the first weekend of October. If a normal family were to use a pretentious name like Family Conference, you'd expect it to be nothing more than a reunion of rarely seen relatives who greet each other, surrounded by buckets of sushi. I could totally go for some sushi right now, to be honest. However, in the Oshiromiya family, when the sons and siblings are lent great fortunes, and only those that achieve a success in business are considered adults, it literally was a conference. Oh my god, I'm gonna go get sushi. I'm so sorry.